Back to Match Day Live. So half-time at Turf Moor sees Burnley 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. And as things stand, they are out of the relegation zone. It's been a really, really important first 45 minutes. So actually, let's just talk about the goal because, Mo, I mean, it was a big moment. They scored their first home goal of the campaign.
They certainly did. It was a typical Burnley goal as well, I feel. It was quite direct and into the mixer. And they rely sometimes on these types of mistakes. The ball dropping and then they pounce on them. We saw it before the game, the goal that they scored. And this is the first goal at Turf Moor, and it was a typical Burnley goal, as I say. If we look at it in a bit more detail here, I'm a little bit surprised that Crystal Palace commits so many players into this area. Yes, if you're playing against a Manchester City or a Liverpool, you squeeze your back four up and you get around the ball and try to pinch it. But Burnley, you know that they're going to go direct. So really, I think you're wasting four players here, and that comes back to haunt them in a minute. We see the long ball go into the mixer, as we say. Second point, I feel, is this lad here. Patrick Van Aanholt, look at him. He's walking, he's not doing much. Once that ball, once as a defender, you know it's going over your head, you turn and you get back into your position. He actually just stands there and it comes back to haunt him because that's where the goal comes. And Karen, after that, it's a catalogue of mistakes.
It is, and you look about numbers. In this situation here, Scott Dann as a centre-half, yes, he's got to bring him in, Van Aanholt, but this is the numbers. You've got 4 Burnley players and only 3 Crystal Palace players, and that's where the overload happens. So the ball gets played in, as you said, they're very direct. The ball gets played in, and they're ready for the second balls. Kouyaté, I'm not sure what he's doing. He has to head the ball in that area over Townsend's head so he can counter-attack and penetrate on it. But he doesn't. He heads it and he puts it into this really stupid area in essence, really. And Rodriguez is first on it and flicks it into Chris Wood, who is a great finish. But defensively all over the shot, which is really uncharacteristic like of Crystal Palace. And it's a great finish, but shocking defending all round, really.
It is actually very unlike, as you said, a Roy Hodgson side to defend in that way. So should Scott Dann have been telling Van Aanholt in that situation to come back, or should Van Aanholt show more awareness himself?
They've all got to have a lot more awareness. You know, as a left-back, you've got to recognise that the team you're up against, they're very direct, as Michael said, but you've got to drag in. But Scott Dann is an experienced centre-back, played enough games to command that back line. I need you in, I need to be aware what's in and around me.
You can't vacate your area as a left-back unless you're in possession. I mean, the position he's in is as if the centre-halves have got it and they're under control and in possession and ready for a pass. He's gone wandering out as if, you know, he's left his 2 back centre-halves alone. And where the goal goes in is exactly where he should be covering. They're outnumbered and he's out on the left wing somewhere thinking of how to go forward and not prioritising how to defend.
OK, so we talked about the defence. What about the chances? Because Palace did have a couple of chances, didn't they?
They did, but I think it's typical Palace probably not really having the belief. We talk about Eze, he's been bright. He's very similar to Zaha, as we spoke in the earlier show, but he gets in, nice little through ball to McCarthy. He puts it into an area, and that's why he just doesn't have enough belief to get on it. But again, counter-attacking, being positive, down this left-hand side, and I'm sure, Michael, if you were in this situation on the end of it, that would have been in the back of the net.
Well, I do like the way Eze's, first of all, he's confident enough to go at players, he's beaten a player. Secondly, he's got the awareness, and that's a great sign. I mean, whether he should have shot himself is open to debate, but at least he saw it, and a couple of real good attributes there. This chance, I just don't think there's any conviction. 1 in the shot, 2 in the run. Look at Ayew. Is he running across? Is he trying to shift Ben Mee out the way? Not really. And then even in the shot, look at that. I mean, there's no follow through. There's nothing about it. There's no conviction at all. You know, you're never going to score unless you've got real belief when you're about to shoot.
Do you think they're missing that little bit of creativity that, of course, Zaha would have brought to the side as well?
I think they're just lacking that confidence. I think Michael's put it perfectly. That belief, the execution. I think Eze is the spark, but they need someone just to put it in the back of the net. And for me, I don't see anyone that's going to do that tonight unless they get a rocket in the half-time analysis.